So, what do you guys do?
I'm Harleen. Over the last 3-4 years now, I've been more of an events coordinator. So I help Gracehaven during events and roadshows.
Hi, I'm Christine. I'm a volunteer transport minder. So I fetch foster kids, school, childcare, send them for access to see their biological parents.
Hi, I'm Lilith. I'm a befriender with Gracehaven and I have been for almost 3 years now.
Okay, what was this one memorable that you can remember at an event that really moved you greatly?
During events when I volunteered, we used to have these spin the wheel and the kids would spin the wheel and they'll get a gift out of it. So a lot of kids would come and they'll get their parents, and that was another great opportunity for us as volunteers to talk to the parents, to tell them about fostering and create that awareness. I remember there was a time when there were so many kids came to a stall. All the volunteers, there were 3 of us at that time manning the stall. Oh my God, then we just knew exactly what we need to do. Now we all got up on our feet and one person was talking to the parents, one person, sorting out the supplies, and one person managing the kids. So I think it was just such a great time working with other volunteers as well. So I remember that very well, and the chemistry with all volunteers is so much fun.
I have 2 befriended kids. One is 10 and one is now 13. With the 10-year-old, at that time, I think she was 8. We went to Art Science Museum and they had this really cool exhibit where you draw something and then whatever you draw becomes animated and gets projected on the wall. So she drew a house. But then later for us to see it animated on the wall, she was so thrilled and we were so thrilled. And we videoed her chasing after the house, and I think that was really fun to see the excitement in her face. And then we were having so much fun. With my other befriended kid, she's very fashion forward and she's very good with makeup. So I think when we go shopping, I really enjoy that experience. And then once we saw a movie together, and then after that we kind of talked about the movie, and I think it's just having fun.
I remember this autism boy. So, and as you know, autism boy, they don't really have eye contact. They don't really speak. So I was fetching him home one day. So suddenly he said, "Auntie Christine." I was like, oh my God, did I hear it correctly? So touched. It is something money cannot buy. It's so precious.
Okay. What do you see as your roles, and how does that role support foster parents?
Sometimes the distance between the foster child and the natural side or the school may be a distance. We just ease their burden by sending them. And then sometimes we act as a communication bridge between the teachers, school teachers, childcare teachers, and the parents.
Sometimes someone would ask us, can I foster parent if I'm not married? So I think there are all these different awareness drives help the foster parents to be quite understanding about the process. So I think as events, when I've done more and more events, awareness is such an important thing. Everything that we put together is a great support system for foster parents.
Oh, okay. How do you balance between full-time work and befriender?
Yeah, sure. I think with the flexibility and a bit of discipline, I'm trying to manage it, because the Gracehaven support family is amazing because they do provide you options to volunteer weekends. They give you options that are different flexibility areas. So I think for me, it has worked out so far quite well.
For me, is to see if there's any way that I can incorporate my befriended kid into my life as well. So for example, I want to spend time with my niece. My niece is 10. My befriended kid is also 10. So if I can arrange outings with both of them, and then we all become integrated. And also I try to do things that I enjoy as well. Seeing how I can integrate things that I enjoy. It doesn't become something that I feel is a chore. It's a learning experience for me. And then they also see me authentically for who I am.
So why should anyone volunteer?
I feel that I have to give back. And I feel that if there's something I can do to make another young person's life a little bit better, as a befriender, add a little bit more fun and some laughs to someone else's life, that means a lot to me. So I think that to have the mindset that it is not something that is burdensome or a chore, but to think of it as something that will actually make your heart bigger, bring light into your life, I don't think you can put a price tag on that.
I think for me also, I think it's just another way of getting your own personal growth, teaching you values of empathy, resilience. I think everyone should volunteer because the joy, as you very rightly spoke about, stays with you forever.
Through volunteering, you meet people that are very different from you. So you meet people that are not from the same background as you, and it broadens your world. And then you meet other volunteers, you meet people who work at Gracehaven, and then you see, wow, there's this whole world of people that are doing this incredible work. It broadens your mind, it broadens your heart. So so that's been beneficial for me. I think just to meet people that are not from my background and not from the world that I know.
It just broadens yourself, right?
Yes, it
That's why
broadens
personal
myself,
growth.
exactly.
Yeah, personal growth is what I really
Totally.
look for
Yeah.
as a volunteer.